This haircut is appropriate for a man with hair that has consistent density in zones 1 and 2. This haircut is best on slightly wavy hair. Create a standard horseshoe-shaped parting. Begin at the front hairline and establish the basic head shape with vertical panels. Use the 01 blade and the large clipper comb for moderate to full scalp coverage. Cut a high taper with clipper over comb techniques. Anchor the comb at the bottom of the panel. Pivot away to suspend at the top of the panel. The desired result is subtle scalp exposure at the bottom and approximately 1 inch in length below the horseshoe-shaped parting. The sideburn is addressed again in detail and finish as an isolated area. Around the ear, bend the ear down and secure the area with the base of the clipper comb. Angle the comb along the hairline behind the ear and connect to your guide above the ear. Re-establish vertical panels and connect to the guide just cut behind the ear. Recut the area behind the ear if necessary to ensure proper weight and length. The standard approach when working with a clipper is to establish the basic head shape in vertical panels. Since the hairline rises and falls, the attention to the true vertical panel does not always remain constant. Visual blend will allow you to re-enter, recut, and refine panels that may have been previously cut. It is essential to maintain visual blend. Although the execution is cut panel by panel, the overall regard for shape and scalp exposure is observed by looking at the entire head. Review the shape and address any areas to be further refined. Typical cutting action for refining is the fanning technique. The large clipper comb is used for longer or more moderate length clipper cuts. This comb is wide enough to keep the clipper blade from slipping beyond the comb and cutting short on the scalp. The width is thick enough to leave a substantial amount of hair for scalp coverage. Hold the comb in a C shape. This is the typical way for the initial stages of a clipper cut. Hold the clipper as if you were shaking someone's hand, holding it lower at the base to offer full range of motion. Work across the comb to establish the weight and quick bulk removal. Pick up the guide on one side of the comb. Focus your vision along the guide and cut to the new length along the comb. Use fanning over comb to blend the established weight. The areas to blend may exist due to horizontal or vertical elements from the overall weight establishment. They will show in the comb as corners or round protrusions extending slightly from the desired cutting line. When using clipper over comb, pay close attention to the reaction of the hair. Assessing the head shape prior to beginning the haircut will help address potentially difficult situations. Some textures will stick straight out when cut at a length compatible with clipper over comb. Ensure that the density and the reaction of the hair are applicable to this length. If the hair is cut too short or scalp exposure results, you will have to return to the overall shape to match the shortest area. Upon completion of the first pass around the head, assess the entire head shape. Look at the silhouette and for any lines of demarcation. Recut the hair when necessary in isolated areas or panels. Most often, when a second pass around the head is required, the cutting action will be a fanning technique, since the second pass typically cuts to refine the entire shape. Transition with horizontal sections. For this haircut, we start the transition where the haircut began. Elevate straight out and connect to the guide from Zone 2 all the way to the front hairline. Use horizontal transition for moderate length and weight in Zone 3 and 4. Continue up the head with horizontal sections connecting to the guide below the current section. Work to center top. The way to secure the hair with horizontal transition is palm to palm. The palm-to-palm position allows the cutter to have mechanical control of the elevation that remains straight out. Connect with horizontal sections in the same manner on the opposite side of the head. Elevate straight out and connect to the guide from Zone 2 all the way to the front hairline. Continue up the head with horizontal sections, connecting to the guide below the current section. Work to center top. Even though the sectioning moves into Zone 4, the cutting action is still part of the third step, transition. After full completion of the transition, continue with the fourth step, connecting the top separately. Connect the entire back of the head in Zone 3 with horizontal sections. Work in 3 planes. First, work from behind the ear toward center back. Section to the top of the head. Pull each section straight out and cut along the guide. The second plane is at the center back. The third plane is from the back to behind the ear on the opposite side. Work through each plane before moving on to the next. The idea of the 3 planes is to address the head shape and cut along the guide as the head rounds from ear to ear. Staying within the plane keeps the attention on your sectioning, combing, elevation, and cutting. Section side to side across the top of the head. Elevate the hair straight up. Cut off the corner at the center top at about 2 inches, connecting to outside of zone 3. Work from in front of the crown forward with side-to-side sectioning. Cutting the top shorter will offer a wide appearance to the overall shape. It will show more texture at the top and visually push the weight into zone 3. Texture and density play a part in deciding how long to leave the top. Since this model's hair has some wave and his density is great, it is appropriate to cut short. If the texture was straight or the density was low, or if the growth pattern caused the hair to stand up, more length would have been left to allow the hair to bend down. If the front hairline has density and is not recessive, cut the hair straight up. If the front hairline has low density or is recessive, over-direct the front sections back to behind the recession area in order to build weight over the difficult area. Here, we direct the hair straight up. For the last step, detail and finish, create a low taper with freehand and clipper over comb techniques. Use the 01 blade to minimize the possibility for extreme scalp exposure. Begin at center back. The idea is to fit in the hairline to the head form. This will offer a lean result and give longevity to the haircut. The action of anchor, pivot, suspend, and fanning over comb are used here. Stay focused on keeping the taper very low. Use tension with the clipper against the head only below the hairline. Ease up the tension and pivot as soon as you enter the hair. Refine with fanning. Angle the clipper along the hairline behind the ear. Cut the hair with only a couple teeth of the blade. Cut the C-shape and the sideburn areas with freehand and clipper over comb techniques. Change the blade to a smaller size if desired. Often with detail and finish work around the ear and sideburn, forced placement and freehand techniques are utilized. Many methods of securing the hair are required due to the differences in growth directions and densities. The triple-aught blade is used to give a very clean finish to the hairline. Do not cut into the interior shape with this blade when creating such a classic finish. Refine the back taper with a triple-aught blade and fanning techniques. American Crew and the Men's Work method opt to use these techniques rather than blocking off the hairline, which offer a natural appearance and quality design. Use American Crew pomade for medium hold with high shine. Use American Crew firm hold gel for body and shine with firm hold. Use American Crew forming cream for medium hold with medium shine. Typical product application with shorter shapes begins at the most dense area of the head. Distribute the product from scalp to ends almost as if you were shampooing the hair.